Hi, my name's Troy, and I'm with SpiritQuest, and I'm with Catherine, the owner of SpiritQuest Retreats, personal retreats in Sedona, Arizona. And today we wanted to talk to you a little bit about living an authentic life. Catherine, living an authentic life. What does that mean?
Well, basically we have 8 points that we want to share with you today, kind of explaining authenticity. So we want to just dive in?
Let's dive in.
Okay, so number 1 is authentic people know who they are. What do you think that means, to know who you are?
Well, I think it means you've experienced adversity in your life. And having gone through adversity in your life and emerging from the other side, keeping your values and your virtues intact, trusting those values and virtues to get you through to the other side.
And you get a deeper sense of who you are. So there's like depth to the being. And so you're not always worrying about what everyone else thinks about you. That's one of the biggest strains that we have in our life, is moving forward and always worrying what everyone else is thinking of us.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it moves us on to number 2, which is authentic people know how to manage their fear.
Yeah. How do you manage your fear? How do you manage your fear when you know what your job is to do, or you know what the next step in your life is, and you're terrified of what it looks like, right?
So it brings in the word courage, huh?
Brings in the word courage, and it brings in the word adventure.
And trust.
And trust. And absolutely. Managing your fears.
Yeah, so like if we, the fear is usually generated from what if. What if it's like failure? What if it doesn't work? What if they, what will they think of me? Is it good enough? Usually fear stems from those things. So if we view life as an adventure and we trust that we're good enough and that it'll turn out all right. If it doesn't turn out exactly the way we thought it would, that's okay.
Yeah.
So there's no need to be. The Hopis say there's 2 main values. That's fear and love. So we have to choose, because when we're in the fear, we're not in the love.
Right. And fear is the illusion, because we are so incredibly powerful to be able to accomplish whatever it is that we want in our life. And
it's the blocker.
We tell ourselves, oh, I'm not good enough for that. And that's baloney.
Yeah. It's the very thing that keeps us from being the best we can be.
It is. And it also comes in with unknown, fear of the unknown, that if I have to cross over into the unknown, what is that going to be like? Well, it's unknown.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly.
But then again, it may not be. It might be exciting.
It might be better than you ever hoped for.
So number 3 is that people who live authentically have high emotional intelligence or a great deal of self-awareness. They don't live lives full of manipulation of others, manipulation to get what they want. Instead, they kind of, focus more on empathy and compassion, and that's how they live their lives.
Yeah, you said something. We had a conversation earlier today about it, and it resonated with me. I think we're talking about the high emotional intelligence. Yeah, it's not having your needs met from another, not having that other fill the void within you, whether that's I don't feel loved, or I don't feel appreciated, or I don't feel supported, whatever it is. And if it's not that, looking to the other person to have them do that for you, to be able to do that for yourself.
Yes.
To be able to go, this is how I feel. I feel unappreciated. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be upset with the other that they're not appreciating me, but I'm going to go appreciate myself with a bubble bath, or a walk in nature, or spend time with my dog,
Yes.
Something like that, where I recognize that need within myself and I'm able to have that need met by myself.
Right.
I can
Right.
self-validate.
And then the other person goes, wow, maybe I should do that. This person's out having a bubble bath, you know? And I'm in here working. No, go do that self-care and go, you know, have that emotional intelligence to really take those reflective moments to raise self-awareness. And also, I think coming from a place of empathy and compassion toward others rather than I'm going to manipulate you so I can get what I need.
Yeah, and this comes also, I think about this in relation to the stance of blaming. Blaming the other. When it's within our power, when we're pointing and blaming the other and we're stuck in that adrenaline and that anger or fear stance and blaming the other, it's really taking a look within ourselves and to be that change, to really be that change.
Yeah, and that leads us to the next one, number 4, is genuine expression. So telling it like it is, being congruent, heart to heart, speaking from the heart, no hidden agendas, really having and expressing yourself in a very genuine and heartfelt way.
Right, right. I look at it like leveling with you. I'm not working on you or trying to fix, heal, or save, or rescue you. I'm leveling with you. I can tell you my truth. I can tell you how I feel and be vulnerable for myself, because that vulnerability is that courage for myself to reveal myself, more of who I am. That's how I look at it. I can tell you, I can say, I'm experiencing you as being sad or lonely, or I'm experiencing you as being irritated.
Yeah. I think the real important thing here is the energy behind it. If we have intense energy and angry energy behind it, it's not effective.
Right.
It just alienates the other person. And sometimes we have to go calm down and go take a walk or do something. So we ourselves, the worst thing to do is just, when someone walks in the door, just jump on them and bombard them with all kinds of stuff that we've been ruminating on. Instead, we bring our own energy down, we go for a walk, and then we say, hey, can I speak to you? Doesn't mean the other person's not going to get charged and blow up in your face, but if they do, you can say, you know what? Let's talk about it later. Like, you're just not going to participate in it when it's that the energy behind the words is so intense.
Right, right.
They also dream of a better future. So they're not stuck in the past. They're moving forward.
Yes, yes. And whether we think about that in terms of manifestation or we think about that in terms of co-creation with spirit, how are we in alignment with spirit, and how are we in alignment to that spirit within us? And when we do that, we can move mountains. We can create amazing things, beautiful things.
Yeah, I think in our couples retreat, we actually go over the 10 dreams to move forward, and you put them in a capsule and you bury them, and all kinds of fun stuff to manifest those dreams. But it's looking to the possibilities rather than beating ourselves up for what happened in the past or trying to fix and solve something in the past. Instead, it is always moving
in a positive direction. Yeah, and that's a good one too, because people that tend to, and all of us do, but when we are in fear mode, we're most often, our heads are behind us running from what it is that we don't want. That's most of the time what happens. And what happens is we run right into the pole.
Yeah, or get a stiff neck.
Or get a stiff neck. Right. It might manifest. Whereas with this model, this authentic living model, it's about creating that credible image for what you want your ideal lifestyle to look like, or the ideal world to look like. And that may be going counterculture, and that may be what's required. But it's having that credible image and then putting both feet in and moving in that direction with that focus on creating that better reality.
Yeah, creation definitely comes in under that category. Number 6 is don't strive for perfection. So we can strive for excellence, strive to raise the bar, but when we are constantly held back by our own need to be perfect, You know, that need is, again, goes back to that I'm not good enough. And it may cause us not to publish that article, not to publish that report, not to speak in front of that group, not to, so many things, simply because of that perfection issue. Whereas really, if we looked at perfection as I'm doing my best, it's good enough. And even if it doesn't come out exactly, I mean, part of it's surrender, because it may turn out better than you thought it was going to turn out.
Right.
And then again, it may not be as perfect as you thought. And so that's okay too, you know. Sometimes people love things that aren't quite as perfect. They have a little bit of flaw in it, you know, they can relate to it more. So just love your life and love what you do, and go on that adventure and have that courage to do it. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
The next one is love and accept who they are. The person living authentically loves and accepts who they are. So this comes into that self-nurturance thing.
Self-nurturance. I also think it's important to pay attention to whether or not you're comparing yourself with others. And if that's the seed of your discontent, and the story that I'm not where I want to be, or I'm not where that person is, that can also be, you know, when it comes to self-respect, self-nurturance, self-love, self-care. There's only one me, and there's only one you.
And I want to emphasize, we're not talking about a selfish egoic kind of way of me. We're talking about, what does the soul need to be happy? How do we establish balance and peace in our lives? It's that kind of self-nurturance where we have our cup remain full, so that we're giving through the overflow and not constantly from an empty cup. Because if we're constantly giving from an empty cup, the cup will become totally empty and stale, and a lot of times people get sick at that point.
Yeah, they burn out.
Yeah,
and
physically ill.
Yep, that happens, and you get on the hamster wheel, you run as fast and as hard and as long as you can, and finally you crash and burn, and then what do you do? And so I think finding a sustainable pace for when it comes to nurturing or self-nurturance is finding that sustainable pace.
I think you wrote a blog about your episode with your heart, having the open heart surgery, and what is it called? Aortic dissection.
The aortic dissection.
One of, like, the percentage of people that live from that is what?
Less than. No, they really don't. What? They don't even know it. I've heard.
But it's a very low percentage. Most people die, and Troy lived, and he writes about it in his blog. And we're gonna, you'll see a link to that blog. You can read his story of moving from an unhealthy lifestyle into authenticity. And the last thing, number 8, is leave your mark. The authentic people leave their mark because they leave a mark of innovation and inspiration and unyielding love.
Do that.
Yeah, do that. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.